Hello, Dutch Mama here. I've been thinking about immigration, and I think we can fix this. Um, First of all, yes, please build a wall. For their sakes. When they swim across these rivers and walk across these deserts, it is not good for them. They risk dying of dehydration and they risk being raped by the same people who they paid to bring them here. If you build a wall, you will funnel them to the places where we can actually get them through the immigration process, and you will discourage them from trying to come in ways that are very harmful to them. Secondly, let's figure out the paperwork here. Most of these people who come over don't speak English. They haven't had much of a chance to learn to speak English. So when you hand them a tome of English that they need to decipher and fill out correctly in order to be here, that's not reasonable. That's not a reasonable expectation for these people. So, give them access to translation, at least in the major languages. And that will reduce the load on the people who are there to help translate these things. I'm not expecting it for every language, and I wouldn't ask it for the paperwork that they have to fill out a couple years later when they've had a chance to get some help and to learn a bit more of the language, but at least the paperwork they first have to fill out. Give them a little help. Next idea. Make sure after that they are receiving the proper paperwork. My family was friends with this family. They were so sweet. Oh, they were fun. They loved the Lord so much. The guy was from Laos. And he came in to the immigration office one day with his paperwork to get his paperwork to make sure he was allowed to stay here. And he wanted to keep his paperwork up to date, right? He had gone in voluntarily without them saying, come here or else, so he could fill out his paperwork. In the process of them seeing what kind of paperwork to give him, they realized they'd given him the wrong paperwork last time, and he had actually been in the country illegally for a while because he just filled out the wrong piece of paper. And they threw him in jail. His wife and kids had a terrible time for a while. We had to pray that guy out of jail. God did miracles for them. When you got someone in the office pushing the paperwork who doesn't care and hands someone the wrong paperwork, don't throw the other person in that clink over it. Notice that person genuinely wants to try, give them the correct paperwork, and let them fill it out. And maybe double check to make sure that you in the office did a good job. Okay, so, and we could streamline the paperwork too. Get rid of some of the superfluidity of it, so that way it's not so difficult. Trim the fat, you know? Next thing. I got a question for you. Okay, we want to help the persecuted here, right? If a government is trying to grind a people group into the dust, I'm okay with them coming here if they don't have ill intent towards our country. But if someone is being persecuted by their government, the government is not going to want to help them do their immigration paperwork. So, if we want to allow the persecuted here, we need to adjust our process. And we need to have a really good idea of what people coming here are likely to be persecuted, and is that person actually part of that people group? Last thing, and this is a biggie, stop giving them free stuff. We have enough people in our community who just want to live off of free stuff and don't want to work. It's not good. It's very destructive to where we are. Please stop bringing in more of these people. We make enough of our own. The people who are immigrating here, most of them have had to work hard for a living their entire life. They are used to substandard housing. They are used to not having a cell phone. They are used to having to work for a living. Let them work for a living. We need that. It won't hurt them, and it will be good for us. Okay. I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm going to go get my coffee. Thank you for listening. And I hope this helps. Have a good day.